You're listening to the official podcast of Bloodstock Open Air Festival. Bloodstock Radio.
Yes, hello, good evening, and welcome to Bloodstock Radio, the official podcast of the Bloodstock Open Air Festival. My name is Squatter. This is podcast number 61, and we opened up there with a song called Waiting Around to Die by the awesome Power Trip, who we of course had at Bloodstock Festival last year, and indeed many people said that Power Trip were their band of the weekend. And we had a great chat with their lead singer Riley Gale for Bloodstock TV, and that's going to be appearing on the Bloodstock Festival's YouTube channel in the very near future. Okay, so what else have we got on the show tonight? Well, we have interviews with not one but two of the 7 headline acts that we have announced for Bloodstock 2019. One from the Ronnie James Dio main stage and one from the Sophie stage. We have our usual Metal to the Masses roundup. We have a bit of self-indulgence with one of my favourite songs from one of my favourite bands, but they have played Bloodstock twice in the past, so I'm allowed to have those. And we will also cram in 3 new songs from bands that have played Bloodstock before, and one of them is also headlining a stage at this year's festival. So, lots to get through, so let's start off with one of those headliner interviews. Rotting Christ are headlining the Sophie stage on the Thursday night, and just a couple of days ago I caught up with their frontman Sakis, so let's have a listen to that.
The Big Interview.
Okay, next up on Bloodstock Radio, we are talking to the main man from Rotting Christ. It is Sakis. How are you, my friend?
Hello, guys. Hello, my friend. Greetings from Athens. I'm glad speaking.
Okay, cool. Well, yeah, well, we're all looking forward to seeing you guys at Bloodstock this year. You're going to be headlining the Thursday for us, so are you guys excited about that as well, yeah?
Oh, yeah. Bloodstock is by far the best English festival. Have played a couple of times, and we always have a great time. This is not a compliment, this is the reality, because the guys, the promoters that support all this festival, the crew, all the crew are great guys, and it's always nice to play in northern part of England, and look forward to be back.
So, yeah, it looks like you've had a couple of days of it with George leaving.
Oh, no, it's not the problem. We just split the parts in a friendly way. You know, some people want to choose, they have chosen their own direction, their new direction. I respect this.
Yeah.
Rotting Christ, many guitar players, bass players has passed from Rotting Christ. Then they choose their own direction. I'm not the guy that to force them. So I'm wishing him all the best with what he's doing.
Cool. That's good. Cool. You mentioned the other times that you played before. You headlined the Sophie stage before in 2014, but the last time you were outside on the main stage. And what's your preference with that? Because obviously black metal, I think a lot of people prefer it indoors inside a tent rather than outdoors, don't they?
Yes, that's true. But we didn't have time to play another day. I mean, we are quite busy this time period doing festivals every day. So the only free day we had was this day we choose to play. So that's the reason we play in the tent.
Okay, fair enough. So what's your preference? Do you prefer playing inside? Do you think it really sort of works outside, or is it better in that dark atmosphere?
If it doesn't rain, I prefer to play out. But sometimes, you know, I like also tents. You know, it reminds me. Don't forget that we come from the old era. We are a band that exists for more than 30 years, so we have grown up, you know, playing in tents, in a very dark and obscure venues. So sometimes we prefer the tents. It sounds maybe weird, but you know, this is me. You know, we are more fans than musicians. So sometimes we also enjoy very much playing in tents.
Yeah, I think sometimes the genre as well, black metal. I think sometimes, you know, when you've got the sort of the lyrics that you've got and the thing, I think sometimes the darkness of the tent sort of suits the music a little bit more.
Yes, that's true. You can get more atmosphere in the tents, in my opinion.
Cool. Well, you're going to be playing for us on Thursday night, and Thursday night is the party night. So you are going to have a lot of drunk people in there, and you're going to have pretty much everyone that's on site is going to be in that tent because there's no other stages open at that time. So it's literally going to be all you guys with a lot of drunk people, about 5,000, 6,000 people in that tent. So I hope you're ready for that.
I'm ready for that, even if sometimes I prefer not to play in front of drunk people. You know, I used to be a little drunk, and many times I like to party, you know. But sometimes, you know, when you're trying to pass the concept of your album, sometimes you fail if you play only in drunk people. I hope that to find some people there that will not be drunk. So.
Well, we'll see. I say Thursday night is the party night, so I'm not sure how we'll get on with that, but I'm sure you'll go across really well anyway. It's a good start to the weekend.
I'm sure that some people will be just drunk or just smoke some weed. I prefer to have people weed smokers instead of drunk people sometimes. So, because I want to believe that the music we create is quite soulful, and sometimes you lose your concept, you lose your atmosphere, you lose yourself if you play in front of drunk people, because the drunk people prefer to listen to some thrash or some punk. Something that I also love very much.
Yeah, that's true. That's absolutely true. You mentioned the music there, and you also mentioned the word concept. Now, the Heretics that's just come out February 15th, and we did play a song from it last week on the show, actually, The New Messiah. We opened up the show with that last week.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it went down really, really well. We got a lot of good feedback from it as well, because obviously the album was only just out at the time. But you have mentioned it as being something of a concept album. So what do you mean by that? In what respect?
Yes, actually, this album is based in Heretism. The path I have chosen all those years doesn't go with the flow. I mean that we, the black metalers, the extreme metalers, the metalheads in general, are quite heretics to the eyes of the people, the normal people out there. So I just decided to write one album about heretics. I started to read. I started to find big quotes, important quotes from people that were judged, that were blamed as heretics back in the time, back in history. So I want to believe that we create a concept that is quite, let's say, atmospheric and quite has to do with the authors and stuff like that. So we try to pass this idea when we play live from now on, especially this worldwide tour that is ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we'll talk about the tour in a little while. The music itself, I say it's only been out for about 10 days at the moment, but the response to it's already been very, very positive indeed. I've seen a few people already saying, that they're already thinking it'll be their album of the year. So you must be really pleased with the response.
Yes, I'm very glad with the response so far. I don't I don't care about sellings and stuff like that. I'm quite old school person. I'm just happy when I see someone else is happy when listen to my music. So I see many happy people over there tell me that I like the album, this album, I enjoyed your new album. So it seems that the first wave of feedback is very strong, and I'm very glad because I worked more than 2 years to create this, because I wrote all the music, I wrote the lyrics, I record by myself. This is what I'm doing with Erotic Christ 30 years now.
Yeah.
So when I'm relieved when after 2 years of very hard working, people saying that your music that's my soul, that makes me really rich.
Yeah, absolutely. And you mentioned the length of time that you've been going there now. So it's 1987. That's a huge lot of changes in the music industry and in the way has the way that you create music yourself, the writing process and everything like that. How much has that changed over the years, and has that sort of settled down over the last 10, 15 years or whichever, or do you still do new things each time?
So much that I don't recognize myself sometimes. When I started, I didn't know to play even one note. Just I want to make noise. I wanted to destroy the world. I want to fuck the world. Now maybe sometimes I want to fuck the world too, but maybe I'm a rebel with a reason and not without a reason. So I changed a lot since those days. We learned our rhythms better. We changed productions, we learned a lot about technical things, but I want to believe that we are still ourselves. We are these kids, that we started everything 30 years ago, and we have not changed a lot.
Yeah.
This is the most important thing, to be yourself, to stay and to be a human. I never pretend that I'm the most evil person. I never pretend that I'm the guy that doing the best music or the faster guitar player. I don't give a shit about this. Just I would like to make soulful music, honest music, And I'm very glad that despite all this progression we had during the time, we are still ourselves, and I'm very happy about this.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, were you like 15 when you started the band and your brother was 13?
Yes, yes.
That's a long time. That's a long time to be...
A long time. We're 50s soon, so...
Yeah, and that lifestyle, the touring and the writing and the constant sort of, there's your 13th album that you brought out here, so you've been pretty prolific with that. So how are you finding that the lifestyle has changed? You find that as you're getting older, you need to slow down a bit, you need to look after yourselves a little bit more health-wise? How does that work?
Yes, calm down, health-wise. I mean, we used to be party animals. We still are, but not that much as in the past. For these years, we have more than 100 shows. Just think to drink every night or to have party every night. It's impossible. Personally, I'm 47 years old, and I feel the difference in my body, not in my brain, but in my body. I feel that if I'm drunk one day, then I'm fucked for the next 3 days.
Yeah.
So for me, it's the most important thing when I go somewhere is to play a good show. Because someone paid a ticket to see my band. I have to do my best.
Yeah.
This guy he woke up, he left his house to watch my band. So I have to be there. I have to give my best, and that means that you must be more mature and to work more in a more health basis.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll tell you as well, being the other side of the fence as well, I was 46 last week, and it's exactly the same the other side. We have to pace ourselves as well in the pit nowadays as well.
That's true. That's true, bro. That's true.
So, you mentioned the huge European tour that you've got at the end of the year, October and December, supporting Moonspell, who we had at Bloodstock, I believe, in 2009, a few years ago. And you've toured with those guys before, yeah?
Oh, yes. Yes, many times.
Yeah.
And it's why I enjoy very much touring with them. This tour will be our special guest. And we're going to play a full set, more than 1 hour every night. So we choose to play with Moonspell because this tour is huge. I mean, more than 50 shows, 52 shows in a row, which means you must be healthy, man. You must stay healthy.
Yeah.
Not every night, but at least you must stay healthy if you want to make all the shows proper.
Yeah, absolutely. And the UK, only one date in the UK that I can see. That's in London on the 29th of October. So hopefully I'll try and get myself down there and we'll have a catch-up and you can let us know how Bloodstock went for you.
All right, you're welcome anytime.
Yeah, cool. The other thing I wanted to mention to you about as well is that Rotten Christ's been around for a long time now, and you've also written a book about the band as well.
Mm-hmm. Dale Patterson from Cult Never Dies.
Yeah.
Found me 2 years ago and told me, hey, Sykes, do you want to write a book about the 30 years history of the band? I said, no, I'm not this kind of person. But after rethinking again, once again, said, after a couple of weeks, said, all right, let's do that before I die. Let's write in the book, because I think that I have to say some interesting things about the band, some things that were hidden, because don't forget that we grew up with no digital technology.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of legends. There is a lot of legacy.
Yeah.
This time period. So I tried to think a lot. I had a lot of talks. I had a lot of chats with Dale. And we came up with a book like after 1.5 years that really make me tired, but also make me better person. I discover myself better. I discover who I am, and who I am, and this is very important. So I started to respect myself more, and of course the music, the metal scene after this book.
Oh, that's good. That's really good that you got something out of it as well, rather than just it's a personal thing for you as well as for the fans as well.
Yes, both. I think both.
Okay. Obviously, you guys have had somewhat controversial past at times where you've had issues with things, and I just wanted to touch on that a little bit. We had Watain at Bloodstock last year, and they've had similar sort of situations where certain countries don't want them to play, and I think they're probably getting a lot more, pressure than you guys are. But at what point do you think? Can you see situations where, if a country, for example, is going to say we don't want you guys here, then is that literally just, well, okay, we'll walk away, or is there ever going to be sort of a compromise situation where you just sort of think, if you change this and this about yourselves, then you can play, but if you don't, then you can't?
Compromise, no, only once we did one compromise in South Africa when the song were abandoned from the local laws, I don't know, but just changed the name just to enter the country. Of course, we played with our real name. On the other hand, we had many problems. Like last year, we were jailed for 1 day in Georgia. We had no charges. They just put in the jail for 1 day. It was really awful experience. But we played the show too.
Yeah,
we went out and played. I mean, we try to play because we never forget our rebel spirit.
Yes,
this is very important.
Yeah, absolutely, it is.
Yes, metal is not only good music and melodies and stuff like that. Metal should be also a punch to the conservative society. We must fight for something, for our ideas, for the freedom of speech. Even if I don't agree with you, I have to respect your opinion. So this is the spirit we pass. To be yourself and always non-servient. This is the most important thing for the band.
Yeah.
So despite the many problems we had, you will see Rotting Christ playing all around the world, even in Islamic countries, with the fear of getting arrested or whatever. We are always there, everyone, because there are metalheads, people that with open mind that they need some good metal music. So we will be there. We should be there. Otherwise, we won't call our band Rotting Christ. We will call whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. And you will definitely be there at Bloodstock this year, and you'll be very, very welcome indeed.
No, England have no problem at all. England is quite open-minded market for us and country in general. So we never have any problems, and we enjoy always, not problems at all, yes.
Cool.
Especially with Bloodstock. The guys are very open-minded. This is the spirit in metal.
Yeah, absolutely. That is what Bloodstock is all about. The spirit of metal sums it up perfectly. Okay, well, thanks for talking to us. That's absolutely great. So we're looking forward to seeing you guys at Bloodstock in August. If you could basically choose a song off the album, and we'll finish off with that. Obviously, I say when we played one of the songs last week, The New Messiah. So if you choose a different one from that, and we'll finish that off, and you can introduce it for us.
Why not? Let's play Dies Irae, the hymn for Catholic and from Catholic Church. Dies Irae, the Day of Wrath. For me, that will be a really blast song to listen tonight. So I hope you enjoy the song. Hope you enjoy our album, and look forward to be back in the UK in order to play not only our last album, all our disco, as many songs as possible. So until then, keep the spirit alive, brothers, and always non-fucking Serbian.
Hi, this is Ol from Evil. You're listening to Bloodstock Radio.
Yes, indeed, that was the awesome Rotting Christ with the track Dice Irae from their newly released album, The Heretics. And a massive thanks to Sakis there for chatting to us. I honestly could have talked to that guy for hours. He's one of those really passionate and intelligent musicians that's been around the scene for donkey's years, knows it all inside out, and I really enjoyed talking to him, and I hope you all enjoyed that interview too. Okay, I said at the top of the show that we've got some new releases for you, so let's have a listen to those. First up, we've got a band that we last had at Bloodstock in 2015. That is Overkill with a song called Welcome to the Garden State. It's from their latest album, The Wings of War, which was released just last Friday on Nuclear Blast. And then we will hear from Bloodstock 2017 band Brujeria with a song called Amerikon Czar that was released this week as the follow-up to their infamous track Viva Presidente Trump. And finally, we will hear the title track from the upcoming album Wolf God from Bloodstock 2019 Friday night Sophie Stage headliners Grand Magus. So let's hear all three of those now, Overkill, Brujeria and Grand Magus, right here on Bloodstock Radio.
And now on Bloodstock Radio. It's time to hear some new releases.
Frankly, you got a problem with authority. All due respect, you got no fucking idea what it's like to be number one.
Charlie got the power, John Boy got the answer match. What now? Hello, you've reached El Presidente Trump.
Привет, Трампе! Как дела?
What? How did you get this number?
У нас есть свои каналы, чтобы отследить информацию о твоем номере. Мы помогли тебе с выборами. Теперь ты помоги нам.
No, you moron. Listen to me. I got my votes. You got what you
Ты
wanted.
не уйдешь от этого. Тебе не скрыться.
Now I got Donald Jr. in all kinds of trouble.
Это не то, что мы хотели. Иди в Fox
For the love
News
of God.
и сделай то,
You
что мы
wouldn't
хотим от
dare.
тебя.
You would not dare. Actually, I dare you. I dare you to go to Fox News. You know why? Because it's fake news. But you can't push my buttons because only I can push the button. So you wouldn't dare go to Fox News. No, because only I can push the button. Don't push my button. Oh, for the love of God.
Hoy presidente nuevo tenemos un buen amigo, super querido, vestido con ruso. Seas comunista estando duro a pinches rusos. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. ¿Cómo llego a ser presidente? Seguro estoy que has hecho cosas locas. Fue su traición a que los rusos ganó la elección. Cuando nos contó estos votos chuecos. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. Oigan de todos del mundo entero. El presidente será comunista. El presidente el motor del mundo. ¡Viva Amar y González! Yo no entiendo cómo llegó a ser presidente este come mierda. Está metido con comunistas, está metido con los rusos. Entiendo que hay una grabación que enseña a una puta Ucrania orinando en la cara de ese come mierda. ¡Coño! ¡Hey, hey, hey! Oiga, les hablo en serio. Esto no se arregla con guerra. No hay que armarnos. No vamos a pelear. Eso es lo que quieren. Mejor nos quedamos aquí sentados mirando la novela cada noche en el Fox News. Lo chingó el hijo de un zángano chico. Seguro que se cuelga él mismo. Órdenes, luego tenemos nuestra arma. No te ganamos, un punto mismo se va a suicidar. Por tu Facebook lo verás en vivo. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. Tiene poder, llega al mundo entero. Botón nuclear, cada país tiene. Botón mexicano, listo Báltico. No pican de frente, Corea del Norte. Siempre primero, esto no es un juego. Ese pendejo, imitaciones. Dale galote, me chingo este vuelo. Esto es brujería. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. Dando culo ruso de estado, su rostro quedó alargado, su propio hijo a la chingada. Sí, hay amar y cosa. Hey, hey, hey. ¿Quién paga 100 millones de pesos para una acogida? ¡Coño!
Hi, this is Alex Skolnick of Testament. You're listening to Bloodstock Radio.
Okay, so that was Grand Magus with Wolf God, the title track of their forthcoming new album, which will be out on April the 19th, also on Nuclear Blast. And before that, we had the fantastic Brujeria and Overkill with their new tracks as well. Okay, next up, we're going to head into our Metal to the Masses update, but before we do that, just a bit of festival news for you, and a warning that sign up to the deposit scheme for your Bloodstock 2019 tickets ends tonight at midnight. That's February 28th. The way it works is that you basically split the cost of your ticket into 5 £29 instalments with a booking fee on your first payment and a postage fee on the last. So if that's exactly the sort of thing that you're looking for, then get onto that sharpish before midnight tonight. We have also announced this week that our travel partners, Big Green Coach, have added even more pickup points on the road to Bloodstock. So check those out at their website, biggreencoach.co.uk. And finally, several lucky fans have been selected at random to join us at a Bloodstock Festival meet and greet in Derby on Saturday, April the 6th. If you threw your name into the hat, then check the official Bloodstock Facebook page to see if it was drawn out. Okay, that's plenty enough waffle from me. Let's have our Metal to the Masses update, and then we'll go into another headliner interview. Our roving reporter Marina over in Germany has managed to grab a quick catch-up with Parkway Drive on their recent tour there, and then she'll also tell you all why you should check them out at Bloodstock. And that's coming up right after these important messages.
Metal to the Masses update.
This is Chris from the CPR show on Hailsham FM, telling you who goes through to the final from Heat 1 at Brighton's Metal to the Masses this year. There were 3 great performances last Saturday night from Ben MC, Tales of Autumn and Bleed Again, before guest headliners Democratus, last year's South Wales Metal to the Masses winners, had a bit of a discussion and a small argument, and then decided that Tales of Autumn should progress to the final. Who will join them there? You'll have to wait and see.
Jake from Sheffield Metal to the Masters here. After a short break from the updates, we must say congratulations to Bodak, Iron Tooth, Defamation of Man and Empusa for all getting to the semi-finals. We're back this week on Thursday at the Mulberry at 5. 5 more bands, gonna be a great one.
Good evening, Bloodstock Radio. This is your man Dave checking in for Metal to the Masses Hitchin, and we are here with our roundup of all things Metal to the Masses Hitchin Heat 3. We had yet another fantastic heat last weekend, and many congratulations to Sentient and Ritual who will proceed through to the quarterfinals. Massive commiserations to Dialect and Clockwork Sky who really put on great shows. We really thoroughly enjoyed them, and massive commiserations to them. We now have, coming up on Sunday the 3rd of March, Heat 4, with Own Your Life, Shyly Virus, Black Atlas, and The Last Skylit Night, all vying for a place in the next round. Once again, doors will open at 7 o'clock, with the first band hitting the stage at 7:45. Thank you very much. We look forward to seeing you there, and stay heavy.
Hello, and nos right da. This is Paul H. from Musopedia of Metal, the rock and metal blog that covers the South Wales Bloodstock Metal to the Masses qualifying heats. After the excitement and passion of Heat 1, I'm pleased to report that Heat 2, once again held at Fuel in Womanby Street, Cardiff, was another fiery and hotly contested evening. 5 bands slugged it out, with black metal outfit Black Pyre taking the win with a big fan vote, totally endorsed by the judges on the night. Picking up the wildcard slot this week was the hardcore punk of Stitched Up, who fought off the challenge of State of Deceit and the last-minute entries from Good Morning Vietnam and Sydney Fate. As usual, all the bands put huge efforts into their heat, and that made Heat 2 yet another great night for the South Wales scene. Our next heat is on Friday the 1st of March, St David's Day no less, where we have Beyond Sorrow, Sounds of Insane Music, Excursia and Grim in the Metal Ring. And if the first 2 heats are anything to go by, this should be another enjoyable, if tense, evening. If you're in the area, why not pop down to Fuel, where for 5 whole Welsh pounds, you can see 4 bands battle it out for a place on the New Blood stage at Bloodstock in August. I'll be back next week to give you the results, but until then, diolch yn fawr and dydd Goel Dewi Hapus.
Hi, I'm Greg from Metal in the Cabin for Bloodstock Radio. Coventry's Heat 2 is an absolute stormer, with Scattering Ashes, Nebula State, Calidus Scipio and Kirikai. After much deliberation, the crowd and judges voted through Scattering Ashes and Nebula State through to the semi-finals. Now, if that wasn't exciting enough for you, we have more news from Heat 1. Last Hounds have had to drop out of the competition as they've been booked onto a tour that clashes with the semi-finals. This means that the next runners-up, Black Metal's Necrotic Soul, go through to the semi-finals. Now, if you want to see the highlight video of Heat 1, visit the Metal to the Masses Coventry or Metal in the Cabin Facebook page and take a look at the goodness that we had in Cov. In the meantime, my friends, stay metal.
Band Chat.
Hi, this is Marina from Germany for Bloodstock Radio. And just recently, Parkway Drive have been here in Germany for the European tour. So I sat down with the vocalist of Parkway Drive, Winston McCall, and asked him about Bloodstock Festival. So here it is. Thank you so much for taking time. Recently, you also announced that you're headlining Bloodstock Festival. Yeah. So yay, yes to that. It's the first UK festival that you're headlining.
Yeah, it's awesome. Like, we're really humbled to be able to do it.
There were some mixed reactions to it as well. Of course. And they were quite controversial at some point. They were like...
We're a controversial band, that's the thing.
I mean, it's a good thing, isn't it?
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course it is. That's it. The good thing with music, I think, is it's very easy to not listen if you don't like it. Very simple. Yeah. Like, if you don't want to watch a band on a stage, you have legs and you can walk away. If you don't want to listen to it on a record player, you take the record off. You don't play it on Spotify, it's not the end of the world. So, for us, I have no problem on us being a headliner for Bloodstock. I think it's awesome. I think it's a perfect fit. I love that festival and I love their history and I love what they stand for.
You have heard about it before? Like,
I've heard it's like literally one of the best festivals to attend, so when we were working on it I was like, yes, this is great. And I knew it would be controversial, but that's the thing. Like, what is safe about what we do? What is supposed to be safe about any of this type of music? The image, the sound, the environment, none of it. So the idea of us being a controversial thing, I'll take that as a badge of honour. I know it's going to be awesome, that's the thing, and I have no doubt that we can make people, like, even if you've never heard us, have a good time and enjoy themselves, that's it. And at the end of the day, that's what I get from it. Like, no offence, but I've never fitted in anywhere in the first place. Like, us being told we don't fit with something is nothing new. It's been this band's entire career. So, yeah, it is what it is.
I think it's a good thing.
Yeah, I definitely think it's a good thing. It's the future.
Well, thank you so much for taking time.
Cool.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bloodstock Radio.
As you've already heard, Parkway Drive are the third headliner for Bloodstock Festival this year. They're gonna headline on Saturday. And there has been quite a controversial reaction to that announcement. Some people said that they think Parkway Drive is not heavy enough. I disagree, to be honest, because they put on such a great show. A lot of fire, a lot of pyro, a lot of everything. It's just... it really blows your mind, trust me. And if you don't know Parkway Drive yet, then definitely give them a try. You will not regret it. They are definitely worthy and they bring on a huge production. I also think that their live shows are just next level. Especially with their last two albums, Ire and their latest album from last year that is called Reverence. I feel like with the new album, Reverence, they got more melodic, but they also got back to the roots in a way. So they basically combined both of it. In terms of lyrics, I think they definitely developed their skills, and also because it's the themes of death and religion, because some close friends of them died and it had a huge impact on them. And this is basically what inspired this new record. And also the cover that just reflects the death and religion theme, because it's actually inspired by Rubens' art. It's The Falling of the Damned. And that's what inspired the cover. And I think it's just a all-round masterpiece in my eyes. So definitely check them out at Bloodstock Festival. Give them a chance. You will not regret it. And if you haven't listened to Parkway Drive yet, then listen to it now. Here's my favorite song, The Void, from Parkway Drive. This was Marina for Bloodstock Radio.
Save us, nothing between infinite madness and the spiral of humanity. Nothing controls us, nothing breathes. The void awakens in the quickening of atrophy. Eternal master, never the slave. Carry your dreams down into the grave. Every heart, like every soul, equal to break. It's alive! Can you feel it? Taking hold again. In your mind, all your demons are rattling chains. Welcome to a world of pain. Nothing kills us, nothing sees. Extinction riding on the pale horse of destiny. Nothing hates us, nothing can see. Through our eyes it dives into our minds and souls its disease. Eternal master, never the slave. Carry your dreams down into the grave. Every heart, like every soul, equal to break. It's alive! Can you feel it? Taking hold again. In your mind, all your demons are rattling chains. Welcome to a world of It's alive! Can you feel it? Taking hold again. In your mind, all your demons are rattling chains. It's alive! Can you feel it? In your mind, all your demons are rattling chains. Welcome to a world. Welcome to a world of pain.
Hi, this is H. Massed Rain. You are listening to Bloodstock Radio, the podcast that just keeps on popping.
Okay, that was your Bloodstock 2019 Saturday night main stage headliners Parkway Drive with The Void from their latest album Reverence. And a big thank you to our roving reporter Marina there over in Germany for catching up with the band for us. Marina got in touch with me out of the blue a few months ago and asked if there was any chance of being involved with things, and of course we are by the fans, for the fans, so we're very happy to have her involved. And if you are maybe interested in helping out with Bloodstock Radio as well, then please feel free to email podcast@bloodstockfestival.com and we'll have a chat about things. Okay, so that's just about all we've got time for this time around. A massive thanks to Sakis from Rotting Christ, to Winston from Parkway Drive, to Marina and all of our Metal to the Masses reporters. I'm going to finish off the show with just over 4 minutes of complete self-indulgence with my favourite song by one of my favourite bands. They played Bloodstock in 2015 on the New Blood and then followed it up a year later in 2016 on the Sophie stage. So I've been Squatter, this has been Bloodstock Radio Podcast number 61, and we'll see you next time for number 6 and 2 Clickety Duck. This is the incredible Suma with Pinch Cut. Enjoy.
Bloodstock Radio. fans, for the fans. Bloodstock Radio.